And welcome, basketball fans, to the first ever nationally ranked matchup between your Lambton College Lions, ranked number 13 in the CCAA, taking on the number 6 Mohawk Mountaineers. Your Lions coming in hot this week after an 82-78 victory over the St. Clair Saints last weekend, where team captain Mike Lucier put the game and the team on his back with 23 points. Opposite end of the floor is the Mountaineers, coming in as one of the hottest offenses in Ontario and Canada, for that matter. With me, as always, my broadcast partner, Dave Walls. Dave, what do you see in terms of needs that the Lions have to match up here against Mohawk, and what do they need to do to escape with a victory?
Well, obviously, defense is going to win most games, Matt, and these guys obviously have the offense. They just have to be able to play with a team that's got some more bigger bodies, but I think if they can just play a complete game, they seem to have trouble in the third and fourth quarters against some of these big, strong teams from Toronto.
There's Smith from beyond the arc, and he starts it off early. Tony Smith for three.
Nice sign there, Tony Smith. Really got in the offense the last couple ball games, Matt. As you noted, he was our player of the game, took over when Paget had foul trouble there 2 games ago.
Yeah, Tony's really stepped up here in the second half. Forced three from beyond the arc. Rebound collected by Brandon Paget, and he'll push up the floor. Hill. Pass intercepted there by Jeff Hunt of Mohawk, as he'll look for Lucier up top, and they'll settle down and control the ball here. Kareem Collins up top. They'll move it to Delhi. Delhi now dribbles left. There's Collins, pulls up over top of Mike Lucier. Long rebound. Collins will collect again, up with the left hand. And there's Jason Marshall.
Yeah, they just have to have a calm here, Matt. I think they just got to realize that they can play with these guys, and they just got to trust themselves and not just force anything, but looking like they're coming out very strong, trying to run a good defense and offense quickly. And there's the man, Brandon Paget. He's the guy that's got to do it. He's the guy that when he can score 25, it takes a lot of pressure off the other scores.
Yeah, the offense for Lambton College really rolls through Brandon Paget, and it's nice to see him get involved early there. A nice turnaround, kiss off the glass lay-in by Paget, and turnover by the Mountaineers here as Smith will inbound for the Lions. Up 5-0, 8:32 left here in the first quarter.
Going to see a bit of a press here early on, see if the Lions can break that.
A previous meeting between these two teams, Dave, it was a Mountaineers victory, 102 to...
Unfortunate there, Sean Hill get the ball stripped. Nice thought there, bring a quick Sean Hill up the floor, try to get to the guards and maybe get a mismatch with numbers, but didn't work out the first time. Let's see how Tony does.
Yeah, sorry, it was a 102-87 victory for the Mountaineers in the last game. And here Smith breaks a press to Lucier. He goes up over top. Hunt gets a piece of the ball, but also a piece of Mike Lucier, and the captain will go to the free throw line.
And that will obviously a big thing to foul trouble. If the Lions can stay out of foul trouble and maybe put a couple of their key players into it, that's always a big plus in basketball. Obviously, something everyone knows, but something that you're always got to try to do, try to get the other team in trouble.
Lucier comes into the game first in the OCAA in rebounds per game at 12, averaging a double-double to go along with 18.2 points per game. So quite the season by the young man Mike Lucier, 10th in OCAA in scoring and 1st in rebounding. So we'll look to see if he's able to make his stamp on this game here this afternoon. Connects with both, and here's Kareem Collins now up the right side of the floor. Ball work around. Backdoor cut, there's Delhi. Kicks it out to Hunt. Hunt's going to drive in. And he's fouled by, looks like, appears to be Tony Smith. Hunt will go to the line. That'll be the key matchup against Mike Lucier here this afternoon is Jeff Hunt. As he himself is one of the premier rebounders in Ontario, sitting second actually, 11.9. So,
and learned a lot from his brother Michael, who was a standout D3 in the States, and just a great player, and he learned a lot.
Here's Lucier, dribbles right. Tony Smith thinks better of the shot, finds a wide open Jason Marshall in the right corner. And Jason Marshall starts off hot, which is always good to see for this Lions offense.
Yeah, anytime Jason, we've said it 100 times, gets his feet planted, he's very, very dangerous. Kind of guy who I'd like to see take 10 shots a game, and sometimes it doesn't always happen, but when you can stroke it that well, you've got to have him definitely in the offense.
A lot of long rebounds coming out here for Mohawk early as Tony Smith strips Deli, and he'll push down the floor. Open Sean Hill on the left side. Finishes with the right hand. Showtime Sean Hill brings us to our first timeout. And back here, 7:03 left in the first quarter. Your Lambton Lions out to a hot start. 10-point lead, 12-2 over the visiting number 6 in Canada, Mohawk Mountaineers. Hill defends Collins. Ball moved inside, jump shot short, Padgett collects the rebound. He'll find Tony Smith streaking down the right side. He'll think better of it. Smith now comes around Lucier. Padgett will work.
Nice patience there shown by the Lions.
Hill's gonna shoot the three. Unable to collect, but there's Tony Smith there in amongst the trees with a beautiful offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Padgett. That's a Chef Curry three. Push underneath, I believe called on Sean Hill, and a great possession there offensively for the Lions, although they didn't see any fruit from it. The offensive, or I guess conceded effort to try and rebound the ball offensively, being as they are actually last in the OCAA in offensive rebounds, Dave. It's nice to see the Lions are working on that early.
And that foul was assessed to Jason Marshall as first.
Here's Collins working on Hill. Kicks to the corner, that's a three. Long rebound again. And Lucier with the block there. Offensive rebound by Kojo Afari, and he's able to put that back in. Marshall now coming up the floor. Already involved offensively with the three-point basket. Mohawk deploying a bit of a zone here right now. Looks like a 2-3. Lucier cuts to the teeth of it, and he'll knock down that shot all day. Mike Lucier with a nice 12-foot jump shot. In the corner, Jeff Hunt.
23 from 30, 30.
Long range there. Jeff Hunt knocks that down with a Mike Lucier contest.
Yeah, nice shooter Jeff Hunt is. We've seen him lots of times, as we see on his sheet. This is his 5th year playing, so a veteran that can play inside or outside. So
nice entry pass there by Jason Marshall, leads to a foul. Sean Hill to inbound the ball. Of course, Sean comes into the game a few points shy of the 1,000 career mark, which is impressive, as 4th-year players had a fantastic career, really blossomed under the tutelage of Coach Grant, and Sean continues to develop his game as a huge part of this team. Mike Lucier knocks down the three, and he himself only 32 points behind of cracking the top 10 in Ontario career scoring.
and hopefully see him do it this weekend if he can average 16.
And that's a big shot, nice comeback shot there by Ryan Dornick. Smith comes up, sets up the offense. Lambton will run a half court here as Mike Lucier goes one-on-one with Hunt. He'll pull back. 10-foot jump shot, battle for the ball, and Mohawk will come away with it.
Unfortunate there. It looked like the Mohawk player was over the back of Smith there, so Tony Smith had great defensive position there, looking for that offensive board. So
yeah, Mohawk's really made a run here since that timeout, kind of closed the gap as Lambton was up 10, now up 7. But you're starting to see this high potent offense here really kind of start to take shape as we'll look to see number 12, Kareem Collins, go to the free throw line.
Dornick did check in the game for Mohawk. The Lions keep him with their starting 5, and Padgett gets his first foul on the game. Ivorone also about to check in. Patrick Ivorone, number 3 of the Mountaineers. Get some fresh bodies in.
Yeah, this Mohawk Mountaineers team, seven players on it. Balanced scoring effort, 7 players averaging double digits or more. So really not a team where you can focus in defensively on 1 or 2 players. It's got to be a team effort here from the Lions, and they're working on it so far. As Sean Hill Pass to Marshall's going to kick. Tony Smith, power dribble up, touches glass, and Tony Smith starts off hot.
5 points already for him, and here's a guy that could give you lots of assists and lots of defense, or he can put down 15 to 20 points.
There's Marshall after the interception. And there's Sean Hill on the left side. Showtime for three. 22-12 Lions lead. 3:52 left here in the first quarter. Hunt works on Paget. Up over top.
Great pass there.
Entry pass was fantastic, as you said, Dave. Mohawk works the ball around. Cuts into the teeth of the defense, and there's Hunt wide open for a layup. Interesting formation there on the zone. Brandon Paget kind of playing more of the middle of the zone instead of Mike Lucier. We'll see Sean Hill drive left. Scoops. Oh! Might have been a little bit of basket interference there as defender got his hands up. Not sure if he touched the glass or not. Sean Hill with the rejection, and he says no way.
Jose. Will coming in now for the Lions, and I think that's a move that Sean Hill's got to keep taking. It looked like he had a quick step on that other player from Mohawk, so I assume to maybe see them isolate him again in the upcoming offensive possessions.
Sean Hill, one of the fastest players in the OCAA. If he gets a step on you, most times he's going to blow by you, and Banks open there for Jeff Hunt as he's good from beyond the arc.
I don't think he called that shot, but we're going to give him all three.
Marshall with the crossover now. Finds Paget as Lambton again looks to set up in the half court. Marshall's now, he's going to pull up himself. Collins might have got a hand on that. Hill collects the offensive board. Dish to Lucier. Lucier's hacked, but no call.
Nice veteran play there by Sean Hill. He decided let's get an easier basket and gave it to his captain there.
Hill with the deflection, unable to corral. Again, Sean Hill gets it, and he's tipped out of bounds. Just unlucky plays here by Sean Hill as he's been all over the defensive end of the floor.
And that was always the big knock on Sean Hill his first 2 years here, all offense and a little weaker on the defense. But I'll tell you, he's bought in this year and last year, and he's become an excellent both sides of the ball player.
Dornick with the deep three. Long rebound again. Paget collects, and here's Hill in the open floor, and he's going to crush Sean Hill off to another hot start again as the Lions offense is rolling.
It looked like he slipped there a little bit. There were some comments before the game with all the salt that's been out and tracked into this gym. Unfortunately, it's been a little slippery for the guys, so.
Dornick kicks. Lara Caston with the interception, or the deflection, sorry, takes it in. And Lara Caston's fouled. Wild Bill gets off to an early start here as he'll go to the free throw line for two.
And just a smart play there. He had to stop, collect himself when the ball got taken away, and it's just all body position sometimes, and it just shows you these players, they just know what to do when they get the ball.
We'll knock on wood here as we say this, but Will Lara Caston actually shooting 100% from the free throw line so far this season.
That's a second foul on Collins of Mohawk, so.
And he continues the streak.
I'm sure they'll be taking the ball right at number 12. At least that's what I would do from my armchair coaching up here.
And again, Lions lead 28-17, 150 left here in the first quarter. Here's Collins now. Entry pass, 12-foot jump shot. Paget collects the rebound. Lions will push. Hill leaks out again. Hill cuts in. Up and in, Sean Hill. Just getting behind the defense constantly here and is leading to easy buckets for the Lions. It's a long shot by Dornick. Perhaps a push in the back underneath there, no call. As Jason Sneaky Heron is into the game. And a turnover there by Dornick.
And a great offensive opening quarter and very good on defense too by the Lions. We've seen some slow starts here the last couple of home games and a lot of offense in the second half, but the boys are doing it and doing it early.
Very much so, Dave. It's exciting to see, and hopefully they're able to continue this throughout the game. Lucier finds a cutting Hill. Hill's going to think better of that, and unfortunately he was called for a travel. Tried for the jab step, but maybe thinking a little bit too much on that, and we'll see the ball go the other way.
I think he knew it was a travel. He gave that ball up pretty quick. Frank Benet checking in, going to give up some Little rest to Sean Hill, who's played an excellent opening quarter.
Yeah, Benet, we say this almost every broadcast, a hard hat and lunch pail kind of guy, so we'll look to see how much energy he's able to bring to this team. Lucier with another rejection. Paget collects the ball in the out-of-bounds line, and Mohawk will maintain possession. 13 seconds on the shot clock as we'll see number 10 check in. That's Jerome Gale, forward out of Toronto, St. Basil the Great High School. There's Collins in the corner. Dornick now up top. Gale. Dornick. Entry pass. Turnaround jump shot. Great defensive possession, but unable to collect the rebound, and they'll get a fresh 14 here. 32 on the game clock. Collins going to drive on Benet. He'll kick into Dornick. High off the glass. Lucier will collect. Lucier fouled there as Dornick reaches in on the bigger man. And we'll see Mitch Humby check into the ball game here. Sarnia St. Pat's native.
And he was a Viking killer the last couple years. Just one of those players that came in and was able to create a lot of offense. Got a couple nice moves down low. Let's see if he can move into the collegiate level.
Yeah, Mitch, really since he joined the team, kind of in November there, he's carved out a space for himself as he keeps getting more and more minutes and earning the trust of his coaching staff here. Paget, the long three, and there's Benet up, and Frank Benet doing the dirty work down low. He'll get an opportunity for two from the stripe.
And that's exactly why he's in the game, and coaching staff loves it when you put a player in that's playing a certain role on a team and does it well early.
Benet good on the first.
Butter.
And on the second, 32-17 Lions lead. 2 seconds on the clock. Kareem Collins going to throw one up just beyond half court. That had a chance. And shades of the Niagara game creeped in there. We'll go into the end of the first quarter. Lions lead 32-17. Welcome back to the second quarter between two nationally ranked programs. Your Lambton College Lions, 13th in Canada, versus the Mohawk Mountaineers, number 6. Lions lead 32-17. Dave, what did you see in the first quarter that allowed the Lions to jump out to a big lead?
I saw the Lions make it rain. That's what they did. They made it rain. They completed a lot of their offensive system there, got a couple of fast break points, and that's how the Lions usually can open up on a team if they start getting the fast break moving. And when they did get the ball and had numbers, they completed.
Oh, Paget just out-muscles Jerome Gale there. Unable to get a kind roll. Here's Ryan Dornick on the fast break three. Tony Smith in there. Tries to get the defensive rebound, but it's collected by Kareem Collins. There's Ivorone from deep. Hill will collect. And Jason Marshall now to move the ball up the floor. Marshall's going to sauce. Sean Hill from deep. Front rim and out. Ivorone moves the ball the other way. He'll cross over. Find Dornick. And there's Kareem Collins from the corner. Ball's in and out. And Mike Lucier will collect the rebound.
Lucier, I believe, still leading Canada, averaging over 12 rebounds a game. So he can do it on the offense and he can do it on the defense. He's their captain and he's had a hell of a season.
Mike Lucier, you can find him all over the stat sheet for the Lambton Lions, and that's something that teams have to respect with Mike. Although he missed that shot there, he is a predominant free throw or three-point shooter when he's wide open. There's a Fari up and over Mike Lucier with the right hand. A beautiful shot there by the young man, and that'll bring the Mohawk Mountaineers within 11, 32-21. Paget the entry pass. Here's Marshall. Lucier open again for three. Paget fights for the rebound, grabs it. Pump fakes up high off the glass. Brandon Paget will go to the line for one. A beautiful play by the young man.
And one.
Brandon Paget, one of the smaller players in the OCAA in terms of height, But in terms of heart and in terms of strength, he is obviously one of the biggest and the best in this league.
And something we haven't touched on yet today with Brandon is his kicks. He's got a new pair of shoes on again today. I've always liked the golden ticket shoes, but today's, I don't know if it's a pink fuchsia, what we call it, color, but he loves
salmon, I believe.
Salmon? It might be salmon, yeah.
There's Marshall. Kareem Collins going to pull up over Sean Hill. Airballs it. Mike Lucia will collect. Marshall open for three. He'll pump fake and drive. Takes it in. Kicks the Hill in the corner. Marshall will fight and collect the offensive rebound. And what a great start to the game in terms of rebounding the Lions have had. Paget up with a beautiful body control move, and Mike Lucia finishes it off with the tip.
Cleans it up.
Dornick the deep three. Lucia will collect again.
Nice patience there by Lucia, who almost threw it into a little bit of trouble there.
Mike Lucia working on a double-double already, and 3 minutes into the second quarter. Marshall's going to drive. And Marshall, this is something that we haven't seen very much from him so far this year, Dave, is an effort to drive the basketball and get into the teeth of the defense. I think he believes he has an advantage one-on-one with Ivorone, and he looks to take advantage of that.
Well, it's nice to see players go out of their comfort zone and do certain things. And
Lucia with the Dr. JS scoop and score. Dishing them out like grandma with mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving dinner. And a foul on Brandon Paget as Ivorone takes the long three. A little bit of contact there. I can see why. Refs are calling a tight game here.
Talking about shoes, the one ref doesn't have the shiny shoes. That's a little different. We got two shiny pairs and one dull pair today. I always wonder where they have their own little shoe company, I think, Matt, where they find these shiny shoes.
If they don't, it's a heck of a business idea, Dave.
ShinyShoes.ca.
Ivorone misses the first. Good on the second. Two of three there by Ivorone. Bring the score to 38-23 Lions. 6:49 left here in the second quarter. Tony Smith barking out some directions here. Gets the line set up. Will Eric Caston into the ball game. Tony Smith gonna drive up and over Jeff Hunt. Tony Smith isn't afraid of anyone. There's Delhi now for the Mountaineers as he kicks in the corner. Long three ball. And that's knocked down by number 22, Jesse Broad.
And I think if they can keep up their offense, you might see Brandon Paget off for the rest of this opening half with 6 minutes to go.
Hill works off a Marshall screen. He'll drive left, kick in the corner. Lara Caston open for three, and he's going to knock it down. And Wild Bill, the gunslinger, making an appearance this afternoon.
And that was a very athletic three. He took the ball low and didn't have it controlled like he wanted to, but shot it like a veteran.
Finds on the fast break. Wild Bill up with the left hand. Can't convert as Jeff Hunt adjusted that shot. O.J. Watson.
10 on the shot clock.
Collins kicks in the corner, and that's Watson. Hunt rebounds over Lucier. Contact from Lara Caston, and Hunt will go to the line.
Might have had a little push off before, might have missed that, but nice veteran move by Jeff Hunt to get the rebound and put it in nice and soft.
Mohawk team as a whole, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the OCAA, 67.7%, good for fifth in the league, so usually a team that'll take advantage of opportunities should you give it to them.
Frank Benet back in the ball game along with Jason Heron.
Sneaky. Marshall set up the half-court offense here for the Lions. Lara Caston off a Heron screen. Benet on the outside is going to dribble. They'll kick to Marshall in the corner. Marshall's going to drive up. Shot perhaps adjusted a little bit there by Jeff Hunt as Kareem Collins will push the ball up the floor for the Mountaineers right at Lara Caston. A little bit of a derby down there, but Heron will come away with the ball. He'll push past Collins, kick out, and an offensive foul on Jason Heron. A bit of a body control move there. Heron a little bit excited, pushing the ball, tried to beat Collins wide, and defender steps in front, and good play there by the Mohawk Mountaineers defense. We'll have a timeout here. Lions 43, Mountaineers 29, 4:48 left here in the second quarter.
I'm going to plug that into mine. You can put it, I got a,
Welcome back here. Kareem Collins takes the ball up the floor for the Mohawk Mountaineers. Ivorone, defended by Marshall. Shot up. Rebound collected by Deli. He'll go right back up. Foul called there, much to the dismay of Mike Lucier.
A little miscommunication there, I think, from the guys. Wondering. Luckily, only the first for Lucier.
Deli, the second-year guard. 6'2", out of Hamilton Cathedral, in his second year with the Mountaineers program. Misses on the first. Lucier collects on the second miss, and it'll push up the floor. Lara Caston has the baseline there, didn't see it, off his shoe, and it'll be Mountaineers ball. Lara Caston's really come in. The entire bench of the Lions has come in and given these starters an opportunity to breathe and played a heck of a game so far here. Much contributions from Frank Benet and Lara Caston, as well as Humby and Heron, who have also contributed as well.
Padgett back in the game with 2 fouls. I'm assuming the coaching staff's going to ask him to make sure he doesn't take any ticky-tack ones going out of this opening half.
They're deploying the 1-3-1 here, the Lions, and it's really given the Mountaineers a little bit of trouble. Lucier collects the board. Marshall look to push. He's going to slow up. He'll find Lucier working one-on-one versus Jeff Hunt. Lucier crossover dribble. Pump fakes up and under. A little bit of contact, no call, but Lucier.
A little bit of contact. A lot of contact.
Dornick now the other way as Padgett will take the top spot in the 1-3-1. Thrown across court. There's O.J. Watson working on Marshall. Behind the back dribble, he's going to go left. Kick, there's Dornick, the deep three. And that misses everything. As our friends in football like to call it, Dave, that's wide right. Tony Smith checks back into the ball game for Will Lara Caston. Wild Bill, some great minutes so far. Marshall coming up the floor. Dribbles in, Marshall loses balance. And interesting foul call there as Jason Marshall is called for a foul when he was underneath the Mohawk Mountaineers player. And Coach James Grant is clearly upset with the call, being escorted back to his seat. I don't blame him for that at all, Dave. That was a terrible call, just to be honest. Mike Lucier, the captain, will walk over to the referee and discuss what's going on as Kareem Collins will shoot the bonus.
Yeah, it's a bad call there, I think. Obviously, it looked like Marshall wasn't trying to interfere, but...
One of those calls, Dave, where you like to say ball doesn't lie. Collins good on the second. 40-33, 3:12 left here in the second quarter. Paget calls out the offense. Tony Smith. Lambton overloading here on the right side. Entry pass into Paget, who outjumps 3 Mohawk defenders and lays it in with the left hand. A smooth move there by Brandon Paget. Deli up top, entry pass into Dornick, floats it over top of Lucier, and that's a nice right-handed floater by Ryan Dornick. Lucier now on the right side, he'll hand off to Jason Marshall. Gonna dribble right, or left, sorry. Paget working on Dornick. No foul call there. Tony Smith able to collect the loose ball. Smith crosses over, pulls back, gets the shot off the back rim. Lucier and Collins collide, and Lucier comes up clutching his nose. We'll hope to see that he's okay. Deli rises up, short on the layup. Sean Hill look to push now. Fast in the open floor, lays it up, and that's basket interference. Sean Hill with a great play, driving that in with the left hand, with the left foot. Really, like we said earlier, Dave, when Sean Hill is able to get a step on the defender, that ball's going into the basket. And we'll see another timeout here, 47-32, Lions lead, 2:02 left here in the first half. Welcome back for the final 2 minutes of the first half as your Lambton College Lions lead 47-32, 2:02 left. And a tightly contested ball game, 2 of the better offensive teams in Ontario this matchup, and really it's come down to the defense here of the Lions and different looks that the coaching staff has used so far has really confused these Mountaineers if they haven't been able to get into an offensive flow. Deli's going to kick into the corner, and that's a knockdown 3. Number 33, O.J. Watson hits that. Smith will walk up the floor, call out a play.
12-point lead with 1:35 remaining in the opening half.
Lucier, open beyond the 3-point line. The long jump shot, Mike Lucier knocks that down. Putting a dent into that space between him and top 10 in Ontario scoring all time. There's Jeff Hunt. Long 3. Lucier will collect the rebound, and as we said earlier, Mike Lucier could perhaps have a double-double at halftime, and Brandon Paget cuts in, scoops and scores. Brandon Paget, a beautiful move.
That was fun to watch.
Collins going to drive in on Lara Caston. Kick. Watson open again. Paget gets his hand up. Last touch by Lara Caston, says the referee. We'll see Ivor Rowan check in here for Mohawk.
Smart move there by the coaching staff to take Paget off with 2 fouls on a defensive end of the ball.
39 seconds left here in the half, 14 on the shot clock. Dornick's going to shoot from 3. Ivor Rowan tries to go up over Hill, he misses. Ball still up in the air, it's a volleyball game. Lucier will collect. And the referee blows the play dead for injury. Again, much to the frustration of the Lambton coaching staff, as usually balls aren't blown dead here on possessions opposite of the player that's injured.
I'm not too sure of the rule of that. Halftime, I've seen a couple of referees up here. I'll have to ask them for their input, but at the side of safety, you always want to see safety though too, Matt.
Agreed, as we'll see Ivor Rowan get up now, able to walk it off the floor. Always good to see. 26 seconds left here in the first half, 51-35. Offensive output here by the Lions has been quite impressive.
So difference of 3 seconds on the game clock and the shot clock.
Lions averaging 86 points on the season and already at 51, perhaps more, at halftime, which puts them well over the halfway point of their seasonal average. So great offensive output so far as Paget looked to hold for last possession. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Lucier's going to jab step. Drive baseline, spins back out, turns around. Jeff Hunt knocked down. And Jason Heron stripped by Kareem Collins, who will push it up the floor.
Oh, offensive foul there.
Sean Hill, and that's a beautiful play. Great call, Dave.
No basket either.
Fantastic play by Sean Hill, getting his feet set. And that'll bring us into halftime. 51.
He called that a block?
Yeah. Much to our surprise.
He didn't call that a block.
Looked like he had made the signal for an offensive foul, but
Oh, that's just terrible.
Kareem Collins will go to the line. Leading scorer for the Mohawk Mountaineers.
I mean, if he gets evaluated or if anyone sees that.
And we'll go into the half now, 51-38. Your Lions lead. Catch us back here for the second half. And welcome back for the second half of this entertaining matchup between your Lambton College Lions and the visiting Mohawk Mountaineers. The Lions were able to hold one of the top offenses in Canada to 26.7% shooting from the field. Dave, what did you see in the first half, and what do you look for the Lions to be able to do in order to keep this Mohawk offense at bay in the second half and perhaps come out with an upset victory?
Well, I've seen their offensive threats be offensive threats. I mean, Mike Lucier's got a double-double already at the half. He's just been the breadwinner for this team, and he's got a couple league games left and 2 at home, and he's putting on a show for the fans. So I think Mike Lucier, he's playing a hell of a ball game. He's about their only big body out there, and he's controlling the boards, and he's helping out on offense and D.
And the Lions will start off here as Tony Smith works the offense. Paget cuts inside. That's an open 10-footer. Boucher bangs around, and that's Deli that'll come away with the ball. Deflected possession, and that's Lions ball.
Be nice to see the Lions come out and score a couple early buckets here on Mohawk and keep up their good play.
Marshall on the outside. Lucier pump fakes, gets Afari moving up and in off the glass, unable to go. And here's Jeff Hunt. Move it up. Kareem Collins, leading scorer for this team, held at bay in the first half. Collins with only 6 points, and there's Afari. Power move there. Kojo Afari.
Nice little touch pass there by the Mohawk player.
51-40. Marshall set up. Hill open for 3. Hill misses. There's a collection. O.J. Watson crosses over. He'll find Hunt at the top. Hunt, the leading scorer for the Mohawk Mountaineers in the first half with 13. Afari short arms the hook shot attempt.
I think we need to see Sean Hill start driving the basket again.
Marshall. Nice pass into Tony Smith. Way up off the glass as the Detroit connection comes together there on a beautiful pass from Marshall to Smith. Afari cross court, a beautiful pass by Deli into Jeff Hunt, and that'll be his 15th point of the ball game.
Yeah, Hunt and Lucy having a big game matched up here together, playing both good offense and defense, and both collecting rebounds.
Paget uses a Lucier screen. He's going to go at Hunt. Goes up, tries to draw contact. No call there as Hunt will collect the rebound. Mountaineers the other way, 53-42.
Missed a little stutter step there, maybe.
Afari, jump shot. Team effort to rebound the ball. And Mike Lucier throws the ball away. In disbelief with himself there is just kind of an ill-advised pass as Marshall wasn't expecting it, a couple feet ahead of him. We'll have to make up for it on the defensive floor. Collins finds Hunt, and Sean Hill comes away with the steal. No harm, no foul. Kicks to the corner, Paget drives, Euro step. A lot of contact underneath, and Brandon Paget will go to the free throw line. Paget having one of his quieter first halves of the season so far, only 8 points, but opportunity to get into double digits.
First foul on Delhi there.
Paget short on the first. Good on the second, 7:18 left. Lions lead 12, 54-42. Watson, entry pass, but he's stripped by Tony Smith. Smith's going to push down the middle of the floor. Marshall wide open for three. Jason Marshall, call him all day because he's knocking that down if he's wide open.
Lions back up to 15.
Huge weekend for the Lions coming in terms of playoff positioning, Dave. A victory over this team sitting third right now, the Mohawk Mountaineers, with a huge date tomorrow against the Niagara Knights coming into town. And a couple wins this weekend would set the Lions up for an opportunity to play a playoff home game.
Which would be great because they've obviously shown the last couple years how strong they are at home.
Lucier drives and kicks. Paget wide open for the mid-range. Short. Lucier will collect. And a push the other way. But going back to the point earlier there, Dave, in terms of the Lions and their home court advantage, they're 7-1 right now at home. And very impressive the way that these fans and this team is able to play here on their home court. It really is turning into a den where teams coming in don't want to play here at Lambton College. Delhi's going to drive. He'll kick out. Entry pass, Mike Lucier with the rejection. Sean Hill looked to push. Ball deflected out of bounds there by Kareem Collins. Hill to inbound now. Hill off day for shooting from beyond the three-point stripe so far today. 1 for 4, but made up for it. Been able to get out on the break and get some easy layups. Marshall wide open again for 3.
Dornick back in the game for the Mountaineers, and a player we want to see try to shoot some threes. I believe he 1 for 7 in the first half.
Now one of the leaders in the OCAA for three-point percentage usually, and struggled from beyond the arc today. Paget tips the ball up to himself for the defensive rebound. Numbers the other way for the Lions. Kick to Lucier, 18-footer. Paget tips that in, and a beautiful play there as Brandon Paget begins to come alive here in the second half. Watson's going to take the 3. Lucier collects again. He might be on his way to 20 rebounds tonight, Dave. Advised turnover by Paget. Hunt goes up and Lucier again with the rejection. Mike Lucier having himself a game on the defensive end. And now gets involved offensively after the beautiful pump fake and pass by Brandon Paget.
Nice pass there by Paget, who probably could have taken it up himself, but instead lets the big man do it.
Long rebound there off the Jeff Hunt. And that could be
intentional.
An intentional foul. What a travesty of the game there by Jeff Hunt as he tries to trip somebody on a fast break. That's asking for injury. I'm not impressed with that at all.
No, a good player like him to try to pull a move like that could have been very dangerous, especially today where the court with some of the conditions and the guys have been slipping. To see that happen, like you said, it's something I'm sure that he doesn't normally do, and but like you said, not a very nice thing.
Perhaps on one of the best players, if not the best player in the OCAA as well. And we always look and wish our athletes well, whether they're ours or any athlete competing in the OCAA. You never want to see somebody get hurt, especially when it's intentional. Marshall good on the first, but misses the second. Lions up 61-44. And a timeout called here. 4:41 left in the third quarter. Join us back after the break. 4:41 left here in the third quarter. Your Lions leading number 6 in the country, Mohawk Mountaineers, 61-44. Talking with Coach James Brand before the game. Lions coming in, of course, as underdogs, although fairly even matchup. The Lions themselves ranked in the Canadian top 15, but Lions always coming in as underdogs. Eventually, you need a win like this to kind of turn the tables and bring some glory to the program. And Sean Hill goes up, tries for the rejection, but Kareem Collins able to put that in. Hill goes the other way. Padgett's going to drive baseline. Blocked by Jeff Hunt.
A little bit superstitious, James Grant with his usual Harvey's meal this afternoon before the game with onion rings always, so he's done it 7 out of 8 times it's worked.
There's Marshall up top. Crosses over. Works 11 on the shot clock now. Uses a Lucier screen. Hill cuts the basket. Marshall pulls up for 3. Lucier gets in there but unable to corral. Collins now going to try and work on Marshall as he gets to the basket. And a foul there on Jason Marshall.
Very strong player, Kareem Collins, in open court. Like Brandon Padgett, uses his body very well to separate and get shots off.
Short on the first is Collins, and as you said, a lot of athleticism from the young man Collins, and struggled a bit there in the first half, but you're starting to see him come alive as well here in the second half as looks to get his team back in the ballgame here. 61-47 Lions lead as Jason Heron's going to check back into the ballgame.
Marshall's third foul there, so not only player getting to the line and get an extra foul on one of the guards here.
Lara Caston and Heron will now man the backcourt for the Lions as Padgett uses a Sean Hill screen. Going to cross over. Loses the ball, and here's Dornick working on Lara Caston. Tries to go up and over. Despite Brandon Padgett's best efforts there, that ball had passed through the cylinder.
Down to a 12-point lead. I'm sure the Lions would like to keep it in double digits going into the fourth quarter here.
Heron's going to push. He's double teamed. Lara Caston and Ivorone. Ivorone sliding.
Oh, travel there.
They missed Watson, and he's fouled hard by Lara Caston. And that's a traveling call that the referees just flat out missed there.
I don't know how that wasn't a traveling call. Yeah, just...
We'll see Marshall and Smith check back in. It's opportunity here for O.J. Watson and the Mountaineers to bring the game to within 10.
It's funny how the other coaches can just sense it when the bench players come on and trap a little bit that more aggressively. So
bench for the Lions, though. I know you and I were speaking at halftime, Dave, and giving them some credit as far as Will Lara Caston, as well as Frank Benet and Jason Heron. And as far as their production so far in this game, it really helps out the starters and allows this team. Marshall has the ball deflected, regains, open in the front court, Sean Hill. Hill drives around Hunt, body contact there, and Hill will go to the line.
Nice recovery there from Jason Marshall and a quick play to Sean Hill. And as mentioned earlier, Sean, after hitting his first three-pointer, I think missed 4 or 5 in a row. So smart of him with his athletic ability to start taking the ball to the rim here in the third quarter.
He's a 5-tool player here, Dave, but he can beat you any which way he wants to. It just depends on the day. Body contact foul there on Brandon Padgett as he now gets his third foul as well. And the Lions will be battling a little bit of foul trouble here. End of the third quarter, leading into the fourth. Collins up top. Power move by Dornick, going to kick out to Watson. That's going to be short. Hill tries to push to Padgett. Padgett sees the lane, up, and finger roll Brandon Padgett. And that's been the Lions' MO so far this afternoon, is get out on the break and try and beat the Mohawk defense back before they're able to set up. Watson pump spins, rejected by Sean Hill, and Lucier look to push again. Lucier finger rolls himself, And a foul call on the arm as Mike Lucier will get an opportunity to convert from the line.
And a great pushback there by the Lions, up 17. Then they got the lead back to 9, or shaved down the 9, the Mountaineers, and coming right back. So just showing how these guys have worked together over the last couple of years, and the veteran presence that we didn't see a couple of years ago, where these games sometimes got out of hand, where they looked like they were champions and then couldn't get the ball up the court. So big credit to the team there to overcome that little push from the Mountaineers.
Dave, you and I have been here for many a games and seen many of Leeds, I guess, kind of dwindle down the stretch, lack of leadership or able to close out ball games. And I think with this veteran squad that Coach Grant has assembled here with the Lions, it's something that they'll look to be able to do and really work on closing out ball games as this team continues to mature and develop itself into one of the premier programs in the OCAA. Dornick takes a 3 and he's no good again. Smith crosses the timeline. And a traveling call there on Tony Smith. 67-51, Lions lead, 2:14 left here in the third quarter. Ivorone to inbound the ball. Hill steps out on Deli. He tries to go up over Lucier. He gets a hand on it. And now Sean Hill will push again. Tries to beat the defense back. Hill stripped there by Ivorone. Deli slows down. Ivorone around Lucier. Missed the layup. And that's been the story of this Mohawk team so far. Missed some easy opportunities. And it's really what's costing them as Brandon Paget drives the ball hard. And he'll get an opportunity again to shoot from the free throw line. It's something that he's worked on immensely over the summer and throughout the season here, Brandon Paget.
And I'm not too sure what the personal best for Mike Lucier from rebounds, but he's going to probably get quite close to it today.
Paget good on the first. Deli crosses the timeline over to Collins. And an offensive foul on Kojo Afari as Mike Lucier perhaps getting inside the head of these Mohawk players as they look to take some liberties down low. We've seen this team get a little bit frustrated here, whether it was the intentional foul by Jeff Hunt and now Kojo Afari with a push-off on the offensive end. 68-51. Smith crosses over. Oh, between the legs again. Tony Smith up and in. Put that on a highlight reel. That's Sports Center worthy.
Wowza.
Again here by the Lions as Tony Smith gets his hand on the ball.
10 on the shot clock, 1:05 remaining in the third quarter, leading by 19 the Lions.
Paget steps out, Ivorone moves around, he passes into Afari, misses the layup. Lucier collects the board and he'll look to push again. Stripped by Ivorone. And this game's turned into a track meet here, Dave.
That was unfortunate there by Lucier. Just didn't hear the guy coming from behind, so must have thought he was in the clear there with some background noise. But obviously that's the one thing over the years the coaches maybe asked Mike to do is give up the ball. But when you control it as well as you do, or he does, it's sometimes he wants to keep in his hands.
I appreciate the compliment, Dave, but I don't handle the ball nearly as well as Mike Lucier.
Did I say Matt Rose?
Sean Hill collects a free throw miss. Smith crosses the timeline. Crosses over. Spins on Ivorone. Offensive foul there on Tony Smith.
Luckily only a second, so I think still the most is 3 between the 3 guards.
34 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock. Kicks in the corner. There's Ivorone. Knocks down a 3. No call on Tony Smith as he tries to take a charge the other way. Shot clock dead. 20 seconds. Paget collects. And there's a foul on Ivorone. And Paget will have an opportunity to shoot from the line for bonus. Lara Caston and Jason Herron will check in for Brandon Paget and Jason Marshall after Paget's completed his free throw attempts. Smart move by the coaching staff there. Both guys with 3 fouls to their names. So
looks like Frank Benet is going to come in too, I'm assuming for either Lucier or Hill, whoever's got the most.
Sean Hill looks to be. 14 seconds left, 72-55 lead here in the third quarter. Benet playing the top of the 1-3-1. Kicks out, there's Dornick. He'll move, that's Ivorone for 3. Short iron. And the Lions will take a 72-55 lead here into the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere as we'll look to close out this ballgame. Back for the fourth quarter here, this nationally ranked matchup between your Lambton College Lions and the Mohawk Mountaineers. Lions leading 72-55, 10 minutes left to go here as we start the fourth quarter. And the Lions have shut down this #1 rated Mohawk offense, averaging close to 94 points a game, and they've held them to 55 throughout the first 3 quarters of this game. Dave, what do the Lions need to do in order to close this ball game out and keep this Mohawk offense at bay?
Well, I think they just got to keep to the game plan. They got to keep playing hard, and the coaching staff got to keep coming up with different offenses to make that defenses. And the zone has worked so far, but I guess if they start shooting from outside, they'll have to change it up. But very commendable effort in the first 3 quarters. Let's see how this finishes out.
Alfari good on the layup. The Lions actually have done a fantastic job so far. Jason Herron gets into the teeth of the defense, puts a shot up off the glass, and Jason Herron also contributing from the bench now. Collins up top, Ivorone. Collins going to take the wide open 3. Back iron, touches top, and that's an out of bounds. Mountaineers program came in with a 12-3 record, and 2 of those 3 losses, Dave, have actually come when they've been held under their season average, which is 94 points, and it appears that the Lions are going to have a good opportunity at holding this team under that 94-point threshold.
Looks like Brandon had a lot of pressure there and might have missed a foul there, the Zebras, but good defense by the Mountaineers, who are obviously going to try to chip back into this game quickly.
Ivorone to inbound. He's going to shoot the 3. Long board. No push off there, called. O.J. Watson dribbles, tries to kick, and Jason Marshall will take over the ball. Marshall will think better. Pull up from 3. Jason Marshall's going to knock that down as he looks to the bench for support. Here's Collins. Ivorone almost stripped by Marshall, called for a travel there. And the Lions have opened up a 20-point lead, 77-57.
23 and 3.
Herron to inbound. Paget streaking. Dornick knocks the ball away.
And the next 3 minutes of the ball game so important here that the Lions take only quality shots.
Paget up. Jeff Hunt will collect the rebound. Here's Kareem Collins. Closed by Marshall. Nice no-look pass to Kojo Alfari. brings it back to an 18-point lead. Alley-oop thrown. Mike Lucier can't get it to go on the first attempt, but the layup works. Ryan Dornick going to shoot the three again. He's been ice cold this afternoon. Paget wide open, streaking down the floor. He'll lay it in, and that's a 22-point lead, Dave. Lions up 81-59. 7 3/4 left. Brian Collins misses the three as this Mohawk offense becomes stagnant. And Sean Hill beats him down the floor again. Lambton bench ignites with that Sean Hill layup, and the Mountaineers will call a timeout. 83-59, 7:26 remaining in this ballgame.
He's got his 20-20.
Back for the last 7 minutes and 26 seconds in this game. Lions leading the number 6 team in Canada, 83-59, in the first nationally ranked game between Lambton College and another OCAA program on their home floor. And what a game it's been so far for the Lions, as the offense has been rolling. Nice shot there by O.J. Watson. Marshall's going to cross over on Deli. Paget's going to take the three. Rimming out as Deli will push. Surrounded by Lucier and Marshall. Kareem Collins going to drive. Jeff Hunt collects the garbage, puts that back in.
And I think it's just going to be some clock control now by the Lions. They're going to want to take 15 to 20 seconds off every possession.
I believe it's time for our gamely segment here. Dave's magic number. Dave, what is the magic number for these Lions after the Sean Hill three?
I think the magic number is 88.
88. So one more basket by the guru, Dave Walls. Collins misses off the backboard. Sean Hill will push. Lambton with numbers in the front court. Sean Hill with the Euro step, and Sean Hill's having himself a ball game. Sean, a couple of weeks there, that weekend road trip to Toronto against Sheridan and Humber. He was injured early in the Sheridan game on the Saturday night. Really affected his performance, unable to play the rest of that game, and slowed him down quite considerably in the matchup against Humber on Sunday, and affected his numbers overall. But it looks like Sean Hill's healthy again, and he's rolling right now, which is a good sign for these Lions. As, like we said earlier, Dave, huge matchup tomorrow against the Niagara Knights, sitting right now 5th, one spot ahead of the Lions, and the Lions will look to gain a couple victories here and perhaps put them in a position to host a playoff game, which you can tell me, Dave, being the tenured guy here, as far as how many playoff games Lambton College has hosted in this their illustrious basketball career.
Well, not for a long time, and not since the basketballs got so good around the province, where the college teams can obviously now play with the university teams to some point, some of the top ones. So I think it's been a very long time, over 20 years, I believe.
Dornick, front rimming out. Lucier collects. Lucier spins. 5:21 left. 88-61. Lions up 27.
Six on the clock.
Wild Bill for three, and he knocks it down. And what a dimension Will Laracaston could bring to this Lambton team on this stretch run and playoff drive. If he's able to contribute offensively and defensively the way he has today on a consistent basis, this is going to be a scary team to play in the OCAA championship. 91-63. Three. Back iron and out. Marshall with a beautiful play. Mohawk defenders gave up on the ball. Marshall scoops it up lays it in and gets the harm.
I don't know how that didn't hit anything, but it didn't.
Jason Marshall, of course, actively involved in the Sarnia community, is volunteers some of his spare time at the animal shelter. A cat man, I believe.
And obviously very jealous on Facebook this week when he saw that there's a person that's a panda cuddler, and something that he'd like to maybe do later in his life.
Ball deflected out by Lara Caston as he ends up in the second row. Deli uses a Gale screen. Marshall keeps the ball in play to Frank Benet. Spins, finds Lara Caston. Lays up with the left hand, and that's twice. Well, Lara Caston's missed a layup, but he's
made some big threes, and he's missed a couple bunnies.
Hunt, quick release from beyond the arc, and Jeff Hunt having himself a ball game here. 94-66, less than 4 to go. Tony Smith on the left side of the court. Lucier wide open, Jason Marshall. The Panda.
Just looks so easy sometimes.
He is a dead-eye shooter. If Jason Marshall is able to set his feet, he will eat you alive from beyond the three-point line. And we'll see Nick Higgins check into the ball game. A fan favorite here.
And not everyone knows a big fly fisherman back home. He likes very patient with his angling, and just loves to be outdoors, he says.
Smith, double team. Moves around. Uses the pivot foot, finds Wild Bill, drives the lane, and he gets that one to go. Tougher the shot, the easier it is for Wild Bill Caston as he'll go to the line for an opportunity to finish off the three-point play.
And looking for the free burritos for the 100 points for the first 15 fans that come to the canopy.
I think faintly you can hear the chant in the background. Burritos. Deli. Kicks there. Ivorone with the shot from three. Deli offensive rebound. Inside to Jerome Gale.
32's good.
We'll see Mitch Humby back into the ballgame. Second time this afternoon is veteran forward and senior Mike Lucier, who a standing ovation from the crowd here.
And why wouldn't he? I think he's got 20 rebounds and 20 points. I mean, just an awesome display this afternoon.
Knockdown 3 there by, 2 point. Foot was on the line by Stephen Deli. Nick Higgins.
Foot just on the line there for that.
Frank Benet kicks out. Colton Vaders. There's Higgy for three. Wild Bill knocks it down again. And he's smoking hot right now. And Ivorone takes to the basket, foul Colton Vaders.
And a chance for the Lions to take this score off the FM dial if they keep pressing here.
.103.70, 2:06 left. Higgins controls the ball. Will Lara Caston. Going to work on Stephen Deli. Look to see if the Lions guards will try and get Frank Benet and Mitch Humby involved. Reward the big men for some hard work down low. Humby, opportunity for an outside shot, he misses. And there with the long hair is the native of Melbourne, Australia. That would be Jesse Broad, number 22 for the Mohawk Mountaineers. So a little bit of international flavor for this Mohawk team.
We'd like to welcome all the people from Australia back home watching via the web.
LCLions.ca for the live stream.
And one. What do you guys have?
Shot for three. That's Ivorone. He misses. Stephen Deli actually done a great job rebounding the basketball here in the final minutes of the game. Floater there by Dornick up over Mitch Humby. And we'll see another sub as Auntie Wesley James checks in. Frank Benet.
And Ben Pierce also getting in this afternoon.
Sarnia native Ben Pierce.
Over under 1.5 fouls. Over under 1.5 fouls to bet on the next minute 8. The line's at 1.5. I'll take any action.
Wesley James off the inbound will find Nick Higgins. Ben Pierce pump fakes, drives, finds an open Higgins. Look to reel in the three. Can't get it to go. There's Dornick. And the door's been closed on Dornick from three so far this afternoon. There's the Aussie. Jesse Broad misses his three-point attempt. Pierce with the stutter step finds Wesley James with a beautiful up and under. Doesn't catch much, but Mitch Humby with that attempt. Jerome Gale now the other way, up and under, off the glass. Beautiful athletic move, but unable to convert. Ben Pierce with the crossover, dribbles himself into the corner. Jerome Gale collects the turnover. Ivorone with the layup, 1:14 left, 103-73.
1 second, 14, and what a great effort by the Lions.
A huge victory, not only for the season, but also in the history of the program, as the Lions are able to walk away with a victory, 103-75, in the first nationally ranked game in this program's history. Thank you very much for joining my partner Dave Walls and I. Join us back for our interview with our player of the game.